It is not a hot take to say that some human beings are dumber than spit. There are more examples of stupid people doing stupid things than there are twinkling little stars in the night sky. And the main culprit behind most of these dumb deeds is clout, the root of all evil, the deadliest of all the sins. Clout addiction is a serious issue. And you may think I'm being silly when I say that, but chasing those likes and views and attention online has actually caused irreparable damage to humankind. And for the goofballs we're looking at today, they're an influencer couple who decided to go into a grocery store, open up a tub of ice cream, lick it, and then put it back on the shelf.
Where, man? Get ice cream.
That is by far the dumbest part of this video and just shows you that they don't share a critical thought between their two brains, because before she licks the ice cream after grabbing it off the shelf, she goes, gotta make sure no one's looking, make sure the coast is clear. And now that would be a good idea if you were just doing this for no reason besides being a public menace and a public nuisance, but since you're doing this for the sake of getting attention from strangers online and getting their likes and views, this just doesn't make sense. Your face is already tied to the video, you plan to upload this, and you also, the cherry on top, really the finishing blow, is you watermarked the video. You put your Instagram and your Facebook on the video, which links straight back to you, has your personal information tied to it. You didn't even leave them a breadcrumb trail. You left them a flashing neon sign that says, "It was me, I committed the crime, right here, here I am, this is all the information you need to slap me with a sentence."
Let me taste it, let me taste it. Alright, hurry up, put it back. Hurry up, put it back. Come on, let's run, let's run.
There is absolutely no detective work that needs to be done here. You don't need to call in Scooby and the gang or anything like that. There's no clues to be found. Everything's on the screen. I don't even need to say the name because you can read his full name on the screen. And that right there is just a class act in stupidity. But regardless, the reason this is a big issue is because, one, people are licking food that other people are going to purchase. That's just straight up nasty and wrong in the first place. But on top of that, it is a felony. And the way it works is that if you tamper with a product for the purpose of injuring a business, not with the intent of hurting or killing consumers, you can face up to 3 years in prison. Now, obviously, that's not what they were doing. They didn't have a malicious intent to bring down this business. They were just doing it for updoots online. So, a stupider reason, but stupider. But anyways, if you falsely claim a product was tampered with, or if you threaten to tamper with a product, the maximum penalty is 5 years in prison. For general instances of tampering or attempted tampering where the injury did not occur, the maximum penalty is 10 years in prison, which that's kind of what they did, a general instance of tampering. And now if the tampering resulted in serious injury to another person, the penalty is up to 20 years in prison, and if the tampering results in someone's death, the maximum penalty is life imprisonment. So from what they did, it seems like they could get a maximum penalty of up to 10 years in prison, plus some fines. And now, the reason there's such a hefty penalty and a hefty sentence that comes along with tampering with food products, and just products in general that people are going to purchase to use, is because of this little thing called the Chicago Tylenol murders. This is something I didn't know about until I was looking into this situation. But basically what happened is that back in Chicago in 1982, people consumed Tylenol branded acetaminophen capsules that had been laced with potassium cyanide. So someone went through and messed with the Tylenol, put cyanide in it, and it resulted in a bunch of people getting killed. And this is still a cold case to this very day because no one knows who did it. No one's ever been sentenced for it, and there are 7 people dead as a result. And that is very scary because at this point, it never really crossed my mind that people were going to be tampering with things I could be purchasing in a store. Like, I've seen people use deodorant in a store and put it back on the shelf, but that's kind of harmless. Maybe they just needed some deodorant and they didn't want to buy it, but it never really crossed my mind that someone could be putting stuff in medicine or licking ice cream or taking bites out of things or just doing things to food or something that you could be purchasing to use yourself and you could never even know. So now hopefully that bit of information helps you understand why there's such a hefty sentence associated with tampering with products. But now back to these idiot influencers here. This isn't the first time this has happened, this exact same situation, because it's happened on 2 separate occasions that I know of, because I guess history's just forever doomed to repeat itself, and humanity's going to make the same dumb mistakes over and over again. And there's a common theme in every single one of these ice cream licking situations, and that is they were all in the pursuit of clout. Because one of the situations was a girl who went into a Walmart in Texas and decided she was going to lick some ice cream, record it, and then post it online. And they did end up finding out who she was, her name and all that, but I don't believe she ever faced any real punishment because she was a minor. Not a coal miner, that's a stupid joke. But she was underage and they couldn't slap her with a felony or something, so it kind of just fell under the radar and it just went away. But there was also a dude who did this, and he was over the age of 18, so they were able to slap him with a felony, and he did end up going to jail, but it was only for like 30 days, and he got a $1,000 fine, plus he had to pay $1,565 in restitution to Bluebell Creameries. But in his case specifically, the max sentence he could have got was a year in jail and a $4,000 fine, so he basically walked out with a slap on the wrist, which I think he should have got a harsher punishment, like maybe ground him for a month or something like that, take away his phone even. Because clout chasers aren't going to learn until they face consequences for their clout chasing actions. So that's been your daily dose of stupidity. I would like to say this whole situation has shocked me from how dumb it was, but I live on the same planet as Twitter and the lunatics who actively use that thing, and obviously from the look on my face, I'm not too shocked. It's not the most surprising thing I've even seen this week, because I did see Kevin Gates' story, and that was very surprising to say the least. But anyways, I'll catch you in the next one.